But what I know is I'm feeling just fine. My life is like a red carpet, and I'm feeling like the richest millionaire. This is my local mayor, and I'm the biggest star around here. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscriber died trying. You see the thumbnail. That's a comic book picture of the last Ronin, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where the other three brothers died. And it made me think about sometimes, I was talking to my lady about this, about sometimes it's lonely being the last man standing. And, when you're with your family or friends. And I'm using the last Ronin as an example for what I'm saying. There are people in the world who are carefree and they're fun-loving, and they don't necessarily mean any harm. They're fun. But their fun-loving nature puts everybody around them at risk, and it doesn't dawn on them until everybody's gone that my impulsiveness and my need to do this and do that, it was fun at the time, it made me laugh, and I didn't notice these people were chasing me and telling me stop and no, because I was out here putting everybody at risk because I just had to have some fun. So I'm gonna make this in a bunch of different ways when I say this. There are people out here who have adrenaline junkies. Like people who want to, let's get in the car, let's speed, let's go, let's do this, let's do that. I like the race and I like having fun. This is fun, do this, that. And they get in wrecks and get other people hurt. Sometimes killed. It's lonely being the last one standing when you realize, I just wanted to have fun. I just wanted to do what I want to do. And then we were having a good time. And then I hit a car, I hit a wall, and then everybody didn't make it except me. Or I hurt all these people, but I didn't mean to do it. And it's like, and now people are like, man, I'm done with you. Or people aren't living in love. It's like, no. And then it gets lonely when you're the last one there. Because now, I hate to say this, but it shouldn't take somebody getting hurt or killed or scarred for life or traumatized for you to get that you're not, it shouldn't be fun to put somebody else at danger. You have people who have an anger problem, and they can't calm down. And because they can't calm down and they get it and everything's offensive to them and they getting into it with, anytime Dick and Harry around, they get somebody else hurt, somebody else locked up, somebody else in a situation. And it's like, maybe I need to learn my lesson. Learn your lesson. Somebody else is paying for your lesson. Or somebody else paid with their life for your lesson. You know what I'm saying? You have people who feel like it's okay to play games like it's the Game of Thrones or something. I'm going to be, I'm playing this game and I'm manipulating this and I'm manipulating that and I'm doing this and I'm so smart and it's all good, I'm a genius. Did you see that power move I made? And somebody that wasn't playing in your Game of Thrones winds up, getting destroyed because of it. And all you get to go walk off and go, I feel so guilty. That wasn't supposed to happen. That's not how I had the game in my mind. Now you're the last one standing. It's lonely being the last one standing because you weren't the last one standing of old age and this, that, and the third. You're the last one standing because you destroyed everybody around you. And I'm gonna tell you another part that people don't really like. Some of y'all are reckless and playful and ignorant and adrenaline junkies or whatever. And there are people around you that's like, let something happen, watch them hurt you. And then guess what you do? You try to get that person X'd out because your need to be rebellious overrides, they're like, I gotta watch out for you out of survival because you're gonna get us jammed up. And I promise you, if you get us jammed up, I'm gonna take your head off. And it's like, you know what? I gotta get them out of the mix. And you forever feel that person because if it don't work, guess what? They gonna hurt you. And then all of a sudden, you went from rebellious rebel, to victim, and everybody needs to help me manipulating everybody around you. Until one day something happens and somebody, either figures it out or somebody life get destroyed and you just sitting there, it's not how it's supposed to be. Again, you know, um, some of y'all on the last one standing, and I'm gonna say this, and I don't like to even talk about this like this. Some of y'all knew good and well what y'all was getting people into, but y'all didn't care because y'all needed a human shield. Because you wanted to do what you wanted to do so bad, you was willing to risk their life and safety just because you wanted to have that moment. But if it goes completely bad, then it's like, oh, well, I'm all right. I know guys like that who darn near had a price on their head. I know girls like that who just to this day, they got themselves killed. I didn't do anything. Girls that got knocked out. And then people, you can't hit her, she's a girl. And they said, that motherfucker got me shot because they wanted to play games with such and such. Then people go, you know what? You on your own, chick. And no. You got, But it's not. You remember like the little girl that got the boy chased down in New York with the machetes? She had to go home. Everybody else went to jail, right? And she is, that's not what I wanted to have. Shut up. But it's lonely being the last one, the last man standing, especially when you're the last man standing and you basically are you're dealing with the guilt. You're dealing with the guilt because everybody else, because people don't know there's a certain amount of survivor's remorse when you mature and you realize the only reason everybody around you is not around is because they were trying to save you from you, and you were trying to destroy them because you destroyed them basically because you wanted to show how cool being a rebel or being silly or being delusional was. Like, isn't this fun? And it's usually that person that's reckless that doesn't face the consequences immediately. It's people trying to protect that person. I remember, true story. Went to Universal Studios. Took my son. We was on a Jurassic Park ride, and there's a certain part of the ride they said, don't lift your hands up. And I looked at my son. He was a kid. I was like, don't lift your hands up, because I know you. They just told you to not lift your hands up, and at the last minute, when you get really scared, you're gonna throw your hands up like nothing's gonna happen. And never forget, we was like at the end of the ride, it takes a dip, but before it dips, it's this big pole. So they told you don't lift your hands up because if you put your hands up by this dip, you gonna break your hands, your arms, because that's just a big metal beam, and it's gonna go down. Just the force of it is just gonna smack it. So I see the pole, and I'm just shaking my head, and I'm like, what you finna do? And it goes to dip, and I put my hand right so he couldn't raise him up. And he's looking up and he sees the pole, and we go down, and then we get off the ride, and I just look at him. I'm like, you really wanted to break your hands just to see it, huh? And he's just sitting there like, I don't even know why I did that. I was like, I know why, because they told you not to. and you the can't nobody tell me what to do type, and all those can't nobody tell me what to do types. Somebody else gotta save you from you, right? But he's a kid, but he was a kid then, but they're adults who do that. And they'll fight and they have enough strength to fight you, fighting them, and you wind up breaking your hands on life's metal rails. You see what I'm saying? So I'm done. Um, Catch y'all on the next one. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Peace.
You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna tell you that.